haven't spoken to him in a couple weeks, I would say. He was on this program with Theo Dorsey and Mike Rizzo about 2 weeks ago, where he had a problem with a couple things that Theo said. I want to get into that. I want to get into a bunch of other things. It's the Sun Conference 2025 AD of the Year. Kris Swogger, let's do a little Ask the AD.
It's time to Ask the AD. Keiser University Athletic Director Kris Swogger joins Russo and Rizzo to talk all things college sports, the latest on Keiser Athletics and more. Ask the AD is presented by Keiser Seahawks Athletics. Learn more at kuseahawks.com.
Keiser Seahawks Athletic Director Kris Swogger with us. Kris, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Glad to see you're alive. You made it back.
My first text, by the way.
I know.
I had 118 texts or something like that when I first checked my phone, after my half Ironman, what was this, 2 weeks ago in Boulder? And you didn't text me, I don't think.
I texted you the night before.
You texted me the night before. You said hydrate, which is fine. You didn't text me during the race. And I searched for your contact before I opened up another text. Mother, father, cousins, you name it. And I texted Kris Swogger. And I said, you phony.
Yeah, you did.
My biggest doubter the entire way.
I was watching. I felt proud.
Did you track it? I heard the tracking was good.
I tracked it. I got a little worried towards the end because it slowed down.
Oh, my God. It sure did.
I did feel like my motivational tactics worked. So I was hoping that towards the end you were hearing my voice and that kind of pushed you to the finish line.
The run was the hardest thing I've ever done. I could confidently say that. It was awful. It was dirt roads, 95 and sunny. It was terrible.
I would think whatever the last leg was would probably always be tough.
Well, weirdly enough, we were talking about this. The first thing about that is what I did as a half Ironman, so that's swim, bike, run, in that order. I was most nervous about the swim, you know that. And then the bike was probably number 2 and the run was number 3 because I'm a natural runner. I should have flipped it, like you said. Yeah. I should have flipped it. Now I have a full coming up, so I got to double this. Now it's run, bike, then swim.
Okay. We'll see how that one goes.
10 and a half weeks. So it's coming up quickly.
And where's that at?
Madison, Wisconsin.
So is that, obviously that's going to be flatter, I'm assuming?
No.
Then no. Okay.
No. It's a hilly run, and the Boulder bike elevation gain throughout was about 2,000 feet. Madison is about 4,300.
Okay.
It's not going to nearly be as hot as I'm knocking on wood for you.
September 7th in Madison, Wisconsin should not be too
70 degrees.
hot. In a perfect world, 70 degrees.
70.
I've seen some terrible days there before. You'd have to get bad luck. But it's a tough bike.
70, you got a windbreaker on for the bike ride. That's going to be chilly.
I know, get it out of the water. But so that's coming up September 7th. Okay. I'm already here. Let's do the whole thing, right?
Okay.
Kris, hang on. 70 degrees is chilly? Bro, you've been living down here for too long.
I have, and I love the 70s chilly. I would definitely break out a jacket at 70.
That's chilly, okay.
This one's going to be worse. This one's going to be a major problem. This one's going to be tough because even the pros who train for this don't even race it.
Are you getting a new bike?
New bike is in the works.
Okay.
I got a bike that is I'm looking at, and I got to get it before Saturday. I haven't bought it yet. It's $750. I don't like the price tag, but I think if I trade in my bike, it's the same bike guy. If I trade in my bike.
The guy who swindled them for
okay.
No, he didn't swindle me, and that bike made it through a half, so that bike's that's okay. And I did. The funniest part is, you know how everybody has the aero bars where they rest their arms? I must have been the only person in the entire race who didn't have that. So I think that's kind of a win for the good guys. The fact that I didn't need the aero bars upright on the bike.
God.
Yeah,
so they rest. So they rest,
and you do that because your upper body gets shot throughout 3 hours. You're holding yourself up. But the new one is going to have the actual aero bars, is what they call it, the rest. But it's a $750 bike. It's a nice bike. It's going to be more than fine for the race. Getting on my previous bike would be reckless for 112 miles. That would be extremely reckless. So I got to be smart with that. But I'm not worried about the swim anymore at all, weirdly enough. At all. It went so well in Boulder and that was with
don't underestimate things.
Tight air. I don't know. But it's just something clicked with it. I'm not worried about that at all. You're fresh getting in. You get too much adrenaline.
Kris, he'll be all right. He'll do his training.
I don't know. This is
going
to be tough.
Hold on. He's going on a spiritual journey in Machu Picchu. So he's going to be
hiking Machu Picchu 5 days, 5 nights in the jungle.
Okay.
That's coming up in about 2 weeks.
Kris, I go to Los Angeles and visit my uncles in, Woodland Hills and Encino for vacation. Colin goes to Machu Picchu.
You should consider that.
What?
Just like a spiritual journey, a nomadic trip Keiser University athletic director. You got to reset after the athletic year, right?
No.
So Colin, how about
no resetting?
No resetting at Keiser University. That's why he's the Sun Conference athletic director of the year.
Exactly. I'm more impressed with this mustache. I'll be honest.
You're impressed? You'd be the first person to rain on it.
I was a little worried because there's a school around the corner that when you grew a mustache, you may not be able to come into work here. But it's fuller than that, so it's more like you're trying to be like a retired,
cop.
A cop or like a firefighter.
Right.
Your accent's actually a little heavier now because I think you're embracing it. So,
How long you going with it?
You think I should keep it? It's not a bad stash. I don't love the color, but it's not a bad stash. You know, the color's a little like reddish.
Yeah, sure, go for it. Keep it going.
All right. That's fine. I mean, I can you grow a stash?
Come on, can I grow a stash? Yeah.
No, you can't.
I've shaved twice today. I already have one.
Oh, really? You're one of those guys. Yeah. Okay, interesting.
Chris,
but the thing is, I don't like when you're talking and you do the creepy like pull. So
I haven't done it that much. It's gonna start getting. I mean, I haven't done that.
You have done it, but it's okay.
All right.
So I comb it.
It's all good.
I'm not. I don't think I'm there yet. Lengthwise.
Okay.
I don't think I'm there yet.
Are you grooming it?
I'm letting it thicken out. It's not over my lips or anything yet, so I got time.
Christian's beard guy, he could tell you about,
it's just a mustache. Hair. It's the summer. Come on, have a mustache. Let loose a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm married. I would have to clear that with the wife, and I don't think that's going to happen. So,
Chris, this is one day without shaving. So, like,
right. I want to clear the air here because the last time you were on for Ask the AD,
yes,
Theo Dorsey and Mike Rizzo. Theo was filling in, who you could hear on Theoretically Speaking. And he was talking a bunch of nonsense about doing races, and you were raining on his parade similar to how you did to me at the beginning of this training. Is that what this was?
No. So if no one's ever walked into the studio before, let me give you a glimpse. When you walk in, you are going to meet the most talented individuals that you've ever met in your entire life. If you ask them, can they accomplish things? So as Theo was talking, I kind of saw where that was going. So I asked him.
He was talking about doing a race.
Yeah, would you be able to do it? And of course, he said yes. And then I think he asked, what is it? I don't even think he knew what.
No, he didn't.
I like how you start with yes, and then what is it?
Because
he
of course,
he's
confident,
for,
right? I'm sure. So then it kind of went into, once he figured out I can't do the bike, I can't do this, but I can run. That's, in my mind, this is the way it went down, is I kind of levied could he beat you? And that's where it went from there.
Yeah, no, straight up no. But then he talked to me about it. He's like, let's change it to a mile. I'm like, a mile? What's the point of it? Like,
he needs some theme music with like the beeping, because he was backing up quite a bit. I mean, I think at the time he was confident, he was ready. He was.
Wow. Okay. So that I agree with you 100%. Theo is dead.
So I believe
Theo is irrationally confident as well. Mike's the same way with
the challenge was a half marathon he could do, and he could beat you. That's what I remember the conversation being.
That's the dumbest thing I've
ever heard. That's exactly. And he doubled down. He called in and said, I didn't know it was 13. He thought it was 7. Remember?
What?
He said he thought it was 7.
The mile?
Yeah.
The mileage?
Yeah. He thought it was 7 miles, not 13.
No, it was 13.1.
Dude, Chris, I told him on air, as you know, I'm like, bro, I run, 3 miles 5 days a week, and I'm kissing the ground every time I'm done with my 3rd mile. Like, it's a different beast running 13 miles.
Theo, if he gets a win behind his back, I mean, I think, he's like $130 right now. So, I mean, I think it'll push him. Yeah, I'm egging him on. I want him to listen and like really get involved in this, because I want to see it happen.
He said he's down to race, but he needs some time to train.
Okay.
I think I'd beat him tomorrow. I think I'd beat him probably in 3 or 4 weeks. I'm younger than him. I think that makes a big difference. I'm also like, I just trained more.
I mean, in this office, I've had someone out there tell me they could beat Tom Brady's 40. Obviously, you're going to do the field goal kicking.
Mike Jones.
You did the 3-point shootout. We've had lacrosse challenges.
Hold on. I also...
Again, I mean, you walk in this office and...
I think we're ice skating tomorrow, too.
I mean, everyone's an expert. Everyone's
I will tell you right now, the ice skating's going to be a major
You forgot about the one-on-one match between me and Theo.
There's that. There's flag football tournaments. I mean... the confidence runs very high here.
You were my first text, though. After
I know. I was worried you weren't going to. I looked at it when the running, and then I put it down. I watched the TV show, came back. You're still running. Went and did some laundry, came back. You're still running. Yeah.
The run was brutal. When I got out of the water, though, I was like, all right, miracle number 1. We're good. We're good there. So that was it was fun time. The next one is going to be extremely, extremely challenging. I thought I was going to be sick when I thought the half is doable. I had plenty of time. I signed up for that full, and there's only a couple of them a year, so you can't do this every week.
Right.
And I want to do the Madison one. I went to school in Madison. What am I going to do? Not do it? There's 7 in the United States. There's one of them in my backyard. And the only thing is, it was 11 weeks after my half. So that's a short turnaround.
But you're somewhat in shape, though, still.
Yeah, right. You have the base.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I have to teach myself how to ride a bike and swim. But I thought I was gonna be sick for about an hour after I signed up. True story.
Chris,
it was terrible.
Let's not forget he's gonna find himself in Machu Picchu too.
Which is gonna be, I think that's
gonna be the mental reset. Did you hear about his hostel situation?
Yeah, how about this? I'm curious in your perspective on this. I'm going to Peru in 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
And I have to start in Cusco because it's altitude. So you got to get adjusted for the altitude. It's 11,000 feet above the ground where the city is.
More than Vail, Colorado.
Yeah, and the actual hike peaks at like 17,000. So that's a substantial altitude. And so in order to prevent altitude sickness, go out a couple days early and just like take it easy. So I'm staying in a hostel. Have you ever stayed in a hostel before?
No, I have never stayed in a hostel.
You don't have any interest in a hostel?
No, I do not.
You're familiar with a hostel?
Do they take Bonvoy points?
You understand? You're familiar with a hostel?
No, I know what a hostel is, but no,
You're okay without it?
I like sleeping in my own room, in my own bed. Yeah.
So you're going to like this. All right, this is a good segue. So you're not a hostel guy. I love hostels. I'm a big fan of hostels. I'm solo traveling, too. I'm not going with anybody to Peru. And the hostel
I've seen this movie before.
It's crazy.
Like someone gets lost.
No, you can't find me. There's no tracker this time. There's no Iron Man tracker.
Let's give the kid some credit. He backpacked Europe. Like
so
right
I've
out
done
of school.
it, but I've never been to South America. Point is, I'm staying in a hostel in Cusco, Peru, 3-4 days before I start the hike. The hike is 5 days, 5 nights, and it's a 16 or 18 person room, and there's like a shared bathroom, and it's like a barracks, like you're in the military. $7 a night. $7 US per night.
How much is a hotel?
So to follow that up, if you wanted your own room in that hostel, which people do, it's like you could get a hotel accommodation or even a 4-person room, which is so doable. The 4-person room was $11 a night, and your own room was, I believe, like $22
How much is a normal hotel room?
Probably in the realm of like $30.
Okay.
That's Chris.
And you're not doing that because?
Right.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny to go stay with 16 people from all over the world. I think there's going to be something.
The last time he stayed in a hostel too in Portugal, a older woman was drying her undergarment on the aerator
on the unit,
and it stunk up the whole place.
I mean, that's the move right there, because then you pay for a single, get everyone to evacuate, and then you get the place for free.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, she's probably the smartest person there.
But Chris, at the same time,
I didn't move out.
His German friends that he met were very angry that this woman's undergarments were stinking up the
I didn't move
entire
out.
place.
She didn't get me. So
and then
showed her.
And then how about this? He makes a time to swim with sea lions after the hike. And he's going to be in the filthy water, the whole 9 yards, greasing up with sea lions. And he looks at us and goes, I'm going to have to find somewhere to shower before I go to the airport.
Because I finish it at 4 and I have a flight at 1 a.m. So I got a 7-hour period in Lima. I don't have a hotel accommodation when I'm in Lima for
Where
the
are
day.
you going to shower? After grinding up with a bunch of greasy sea lions.
$7 hostel you can just shower and leave?
That might be what I do.
Or a hose?
It's
kind of what it sounds like.
A public shower, you just get a bar of soap out, you're good to go. Wear a bathing suit.
Colin is going to be nuzzling up with disgusting, greasy, oily sea lions for, however long.
Would you do a trip like that?
No, I would not stay in a hostel.
No. I think you learn a lot. It's funny. It's just like, you laugh about it. I feel like it's you can get
or you cry. It's one of the two.
Right.
Like the high and the low on a trip like that. I mean, I like to land in the middle somewhere.
Chris Swogger, the Keiser University Athletic Director. All right, let's get into a little sports.
All right.
I'm curious. A lot of eligibility claims are being pandered now by the NCAA. This is in football and in basketball specifically. I was curious. The NAIA sort of has its connection with eligibility clauses. There's 1,000 different loopholes that players use nowadays. I'm curious on your thoughts because with Keiser University, of course, you want to help guys propel onto further levels if they ever get there. You want guys to get an education, but you got a lot of transferring. You deal with that, so does everybody else. Yep. Eligibility, are you more on the favor of if the kid wants it, do you lean in that direction? Is it haywire? What's your perspective on how
getting a fifth year?
Fifth year, it's some in 6th years, medical years, transfer years, whether they're moving levels.
So I'm not a fan of fifth year at face value.
You're not, period.
No, I mean, it's come up. It's actually come up a few years ago in the NAI as far as looking at it.
What is the rule now?
So right now, it's similar to Division II in the NAI, where you get 10 terms or 10 semesters to play 4 years.
Okay.
A redshirt year would basically be if you play less than 20% of the allowable games, and you don't play in the postseason, then
Right.
you don't burn your season. But you're still using up a term of attendance. So you can either run out of semesters or you can run out of years.
Okay.
So it's not like you can go to school for 9 years, never play, and still have eligibility. So they had looked at it to kind of say, all right, if we get rid of the medical hardships and get rid of all this stuff and just say you get a blanket 5, does that make more sense? I think the problem is, I mean, at the end of the day, you're supposed to be coming in, graduating, moving on, right? So at the end of the day, if you're granting a 5th year, a 6th year, I mean, are you helping the kid or are you prolonging them just kind of going off into the world? And then what opportunities are you taking for freshmen coming in?
Right. So you think that ultimately there's only so many spots, but but the one thing is there's more than enough schools, or am I being naive in that regard? There's more.
I mean, kids are going in the portal and not finding homes.
Yeah.
So kids are trying to transfer and not find homes. To me, 4 years, because again, you still get more than 4. Like you can redshirt. You can play less than 20% of your season.
And then add another year, but you're not playing, taking opportunities.
Correct.
Okay. So you think ultimately 4 played years should be period, point blank? What about medical red shirts, stuff like that? This guy hasn't, this happened to a player in Miami, Cam McCormick.
Yeah,
he's
like
28.
Yeah.
He was 29 years old. He was catching touchdown passes, and it was
what is the point?
Cam Rising too, but
Cam Rising as well.
Yeah, but what is the point? In other words, you're going back to school. If you have your undergraduate degree, now you're going for your master's, you're going for your PhD. I mean, what are you trying to get out of it?
Well, now, Chris, a lot of it is NIL. They're able to go back and capitalize on
but I don't view college. I mean, it's not. You're not going to college to earn an income. You're going to college to get a degree to move on.
Can we fairly say that at this point in time with what's happened in the last year?
Now, I'll say this. Division I. So I will say this. I understand it. In other words, if you are a Division I athlete, you're getting a full ride scholarship, you're getting money. I understand the playing a 5th year wanting to. If you're at a Division III, NAI, Division II, or a non-scholarship full sport, which some of them are moving to because they're trying to free up money at Division I's for football or baseball or whatever, you're paying, in a sense, part of your tuition to go to school. So for me to say, you're going to get extra years to keep paying me and paying me and paying me, I also don't think that's a good system either.
So how do we fix it, Chris?
I think you keep it at where it is at 4. Again, 5 with exception. You can appeal anything. I think again, if it's an injury situation, you didn't play a certain percentage, but at the end of the day, I think the emphasis needs to be on graduating and moving on. The only way I would be okay with it is you go to school, you graduate on time in 4 years. Maybe you get a 5th year to go to grad school or something. But what I don't like is you transfer 3 times, so you lose some credits. You're delaying your education.
Right. You're not even done. That's why you're done with school if you wanted to. Yeah.
That's why you're not graduating, because of those scenarios.
Yeah.
I think I would look at it as if you reward someone for maybe that's a retention tool. Like if you go to the school, you stay there, you don't jump in the portal, you don't move on. You stay
like a loyalty discount
4 years, and maybe you get a 5th year if you graduate on time.
Yeah, and
something like that, I could maybe be on board with, because it is incentivizing kids to get done with school.
I don't hate that. That's a very good idea. I don't hate that at all.
So, boys, I know this is kind of different and not like every other college athlete, but how about someone like Quinn Ewers? The rumor was Ewers could have stayed at school, transferred to Michigan State, made $8 million. Instead, he gets drafted in the 7th round. He's not going to sniff $8 million a year this year. So, I think in a sense of they're trying to capitalize on their playing ability. They're trying to, because not everyone is going to go on and move on to the pros.
Cam Rising could not go to the NFL if he wanted to, and he's played at Utah for 9 years. And he's had 7 season-ending injuries.
Listen, I don't want to sit here and speculate what he made in NIL. Probably made him hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Easily.
So that's the rock and a hard place. Is this about education, or is this about college athletes wanting to capitalize on their brand and their name, image, and likeness to make money?
Well, I also say, and I don't want to go, I mean, this could be a whole conversation, but I also think there's a part of the position you're in is why you're getting paid. So you're kind of looking at it, for example, if you're the starting core, there's always anomalies, right? There's always the Tim Tebows of the world. There's always the Cam Newtons. But for the most part, there is a dollar value attached to the starting quarterback at Alabama. Insert anyone in there, and that is what that person is going to make. So by me staying and keeping that money, I get it, but that means someone else isn't necessarily getting it. So, I mean, I mean, obviously, I'm all for kids getting whatever they're able to get and capitalize. I'm not for holding them back or anything, but at the same time, I think everyone talks at it as by taking you're taking something from me, but at the same time, again, there's a value to that university, that position, and what the brand is versus the individual brand. So I think the longer you extend careers, I think you're going to start running into opportunities also getting taken away from other people.
Last thing here on this topic, has Keiser University dealt with this in the past and had to make, is it a judgment call? Or do you have a strict set of rules with it because of the NIIA rules?
With fifth year?
Fifth years guys asking for
So
extra
what we had to
they're
do
transferring in and they're asking for more eligibility. How would that work?
So what we dealt with this year was this year was the year where if you played at a non NCAA school, so junior college,
right.
NAI school, something like that, you did get
that was
an
a rule.
extra
That was a
year.
ruling.
Yeah. So some of our kids went on and got a fifth year at an NCAA school. We do get issues as far as like final medical register. It's more when people transfer associations. So you played for 3 years at an NCAA school or 4, and then you come to us. Then you have to appeal for things. But again, there's got to be some sort of extenuating circumstance.
Right.
But again, I think as a blanket rule, I would say 4 years. Are there reasons why? Like, for example, one of the reasons why you would get a fifth year is if you're a female and let's say you were pregnant and had a child while you're playing. You might get a fifth year for something like that, which I get. I understand that.
Right.
But I think as a general rule,
that's few and far between comparatively to the bulk of the cases.
Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, again, the incentive should be go to school, get done in 4 years. Now, if academically the colleges are not set up for you to graduate in 4, that's a whole different conversation.
Right.
From an academic standpoint. Then we need to go at college degrees, programs. If it's going to take you 5 to graduate, then the system may be broken. But if you can get done in 4, then that's what I think you should be shooting for.
To to your point too, a lot of these players that are probably capitalizing on NIL probably aren't even graduating. Even the ones that aren't going on and moving on to playing pro sports. Yeah.
Correct.
The purpose of being in college, playing sports, making your money, and not getting the degree. I see the problem with that. I do.
Right. And again, I think there's a value to like Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, all these schools. There's a dollar amount attached to that school. And again, there are anomalies where kids may come in and kind of go above that. But for the most part, the dollar value is a dollar value for a starting offensive lineman, a quarterback, receiver. So you insert any name in there that's good enough. Obviously, you have to be talented. But I think the cycle needs to keep going for everyone to kind of get that opportunity and to prove themselves. If someone's staying at 28 years old, playing against an 18, 19-year-old freshman,
it's wrong.
I don't know that makes a lot of sense.
It's wrong, in my opinion.
Chris, now we're in the summer here. What's the plan here? What's going on in the schedule of Keiser University right now?
So right now we just finished up our team camp. So we had a very successful team camp on campus. Finished up our 7-7 2 weeks ago. We have a summer baseball league that plays, so that'll be wrapping up here, I think, in about 3-4 weeks. Then we flip. Fall athletes start coming back August 1st. So football starts reporting back August 1st. Then we got soccer.
A little over a month.
Yep. Then we get rolling for the fall season. So I think our first game on the schedule is either women's soccer or volleyball, and that is week 2 of August. Wow. So we're close. Right now we're just trying to tighten some stuff up, make sure kids are getting everything done, getting ready to move back, coaches get in place, have some meetings, and kind of just get motivated to do it all again. So it's a short, it's like the Panthers with hockey. It's a short off season, man. They get 3 months, 2 months, and then you're going.
Now let me talk about this too. The Sun Conference nominated you, awarded you the athletic director of the year. This is your third time winning?
I believe third. I don't know.
He doesn't keep track.
You lose track. The MVPs after 5. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations,
Thank
first
you.
of all. And I guess talk a little bit about, so you're recognized amongst the fellow athletic directors, and that's how that works?
Yes.
And I guess that what is a testament to you, the athletic department that you have helped put together and that you help run. I mean, what can you say about what getting that honor means to you?
It's big because it's a staff award. I'm not coaching, I'm not recruiting, I'm not, I'm imparting wisdom at times, I guess you could say, and or motivating. But it's a testament to our student athletes and our coaches and our staff and our administration. I think so. I'm honored by it just because by me winning the award, basically they're saying, we believe your institution is doing it right and being successful. And again, I think that goes to everyone else. When we won the Commissioner's Cup this year, which is the top school in the conference. Anytime we win that award, the Learfield, or if I win Athletic Director of the Year, I think those are all department awards. So I have coaches congratulate me, and it's great that they're recognizing it. But I think it's more. it's more rewardful, or more of a reward for me because, while they may get an individual award, I think this is just for everything they do across the board. Because it's not necessarily record, but I think it's also just the way the department runs. I think we do things the right way. I think our coaches make sacrifices, with their time they spend with us and things they do that people don't even see off the court, off the field with their own kids and recruits. So it's very proud moment just because I think it represents what we do as a whole.
Well, congratulations. You deserve it with all the championships and how tight of a ship you run. Which we give you credit for, by the way.
No, a very humble winner, by the way. A very humble winner.
I'm a humble guy. That's how I'm described.
Chris, hang on. And Kyle,
slice of humble pie compared to everybody else here.
You're doing the Ironman. I'm in the middle of trying to lose some weight. I'm going to be kicking field goals, whatever. What challenge can we get Kris Swogger, the AD of Keiser? What is there a challenge that you want to put on your
triathlon with me?
Do you want to do something?
A sprint triathlon?
What do you want to do?
No, I don't want to do a sprint triathlon.
You're done in an hour.
No, that's
You're done in an hour. You've done it in an hour. I'll do it with you.
By the way,
you could come and swim with the Keiser University swim team and my little master's club in the morning.
So I'll also explain why everyone in this office is confident because most of you are 32 and younger. So you haven't faced the other side of injury and or.
Yeah. I'm almost there, Chris.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'll think of something. Okay,
I think we should do a sprint triathlon together.
And by the way,
I would enjoy that. That would be fun.
What is a sprint triathlon?
It's like 600 meters swimming, and then it's 10 miles biking and 3 miles running.
Why does that sound fun to anybody?
It's miserable.
Terrible.
You're done in under an hour.
But why?
I mean, why?
Exactly said why. Why would you do it? Why is that fun?
Chris, it's a bonding experience between you and I.
Bonding experience would be like a drinking event. That's a bonding experience.
Bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, that's a bonding experience.
Yeah.
Not
trial through hardship.
How about this? I didn't mean for it to turn. Think about it. If you got something that comes up maybe the next time around.
I got something in mind right now, but we'll circle back. Chris, we appreciate it as always. Kris Swogger, the athletic director. We'll talk soon, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
2025 Athletic Director of the Year for the Sun Conference. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. Little 5 and 5 coming up next. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.